Hi guys, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be discussing my experiences with psychics. I've had about 3 readings with 3 different people. It all started about 18 months ago, and I have received lots of messages, you know, curious about who I went to, what happened and how much it is. I'm not only going to be kind of going through the notes she gave me, my first psychic reading, and kind of confirming things, because I mean, she wrote all this before I got there. There's quite a few like crazy things and stories that come from this specific reading I had. And recently I also visited a aura reader psychic, as well as just a general reading psychic. All of them I've gotten like nothing but guidance from them, and I will, you know, explain a bit more about what it is for those of you who are a bit skeptical or not sure about it. But yeah, so I'll just begin off the story. My nana is friends with this lady named Andrea, and I haven't been in contact with her since I've had my first reading. Now last year was like a really it was a weird time for me, because I was seeing someone, like we were dating, but we weren't like, it wasn't anything like official or anything like that. Like it was just a matter of him taking me out on dates, and it was weird. I kind of had a bad feeling, but I thought I'm just gonna let things happen. And it's funny because I ended up saying no, I can't do this anymore on the day of my birthday. On the Saturday, my nana had booked me a reading with Andrea, and so I was a little bit nervous, because I was like, I'm scared she's going to tell me things that I don't want to know or don't want to hear, that are going to freak me out. So I was so close to just like backing out completely. Mind you, this was kind of the beginning of me starting my spiritual journey, because before, around that point, I was curious by it, but I wasn't fully aware of everything. So I think that's why I was a bit like skeptic to go and do that type of thing. Now they're not actually allowed to read anyone under the age of 18. I just had my 17th birthday, and I don't know why. Maybe she just got a feeling or something that that she allowed it. I don't know what she does, but I kind of got there. She said I'm not allowed to touch you. She kind of just got an energy or a vibe from me, and then I sat down. I paid $60 for an hour, but she did, you know, go over the span about an hour and a half, and she didn't ask any more money or anything like that. So I was pretty fortunate in that sense. She had written lots of notes. She'd written about 3 pages, and altogether there are 4, so she did kind of scribble a bit on the last few pages. But yeah, like I'll just read through these and kind of get an idea. But she did say a handful of things that, like, it's very interesting. She said I'm gonna have 2 children, boy 19, weddings and food early, business overseas, bride with a veil, bride with flowers in her hair, happier of, I don't know what that means, but she did say that she did see there's some sort of bride or something like that, and happier of the 2, I don't know what that means, but basically bride with flowers in her hair, bride with veil. Like it's just imagery that she has put, and there are some things that, you know, I'm kind of like, they're a bit far-fetched, and you got to acknowledge that when you're seeing a psychic. They are going to say some things that you're going to be like, ooh. It's just an interpretation, really. It's up to you whether you want to take it in or not, but I take it as guidance. It's more of whatever they say to me, I do take it with a grain of salt, but 99% of the time it really does resonate with me, in the sense that it does clarify things. Also here she has written decision with work and career options. That's been quite difficult for me recently, funnily enough. Like it's always been on my mind, but I've never really had a struggle with figuring out what I want to do up until recently. And with this new moon, which, you know, and solar eclipse and eclipse season has been encouraging major growth, and I feel like I have matured in the sense that I know what I want for my life, and it's like almost like I've stepped into the new era of me. I have definitely struggled with career options and stuff like that, but I have settled on something, and I'm actually thinking of studying next year. It's completely different to what I did, or what I wanted to do, or what I thought I wanted to do at the beginning of the year. Watch the highs, you will perform well. See the lows as just that. They come like seasons. Sometimes 4 in one day. Happier summer days next year. Okay, that kind of makes sense, because the last summer I had, that was pretty magical. I had a pretty magical summer. I didn't expect that they would kind of resonate with me now. Like, I kind of thought that it was just gonna really give me messages, but saying like they come like seasons, I definitely have picked up on the fact that you know, it is a seasonal thing. Eclipse season and retrograde season, like, flip, that was like some of the most like low I felt. Bonuses with travel, lucky for some. Funnily enough, because I'm thinking of studying the job that does allow me to travel, so even when I went to go see the psychic, the aura reader, he said that he sees lots of travel in my future. So a lot of it said to do with travel, and it said that I'm going to be overseas, and so it is something I've thought about, but I just never thought was possible. So thinking about that's quite exciting. Channel energies towards work and savings. Oh, this is my biggest problem right now, because obviously you guys know that I'm in between jobs and like I'm needing to save money so badly. Like, I just want to show you guys, like, she has written lots and lots. I just didn't really pick up on that this would kind of resonate with me now. Someone is trying to have a baby or buy a house. Someone will split up in their relationship. Not everything is black and white. Helicopter ride. Romance is strong. Also, one of my best friends from high school, you guys may know her, I won't name drop just because I feel like that's a bit disrespectful to, like, as much as I'm disclosing this information. There was a point where we really did grow apart, and especially this year, and Andrea did mention something to me at the reading saying that you are going to outgrow a best friend of yours, and that you guys are gonna go your own ways. And I didn't like hearing that at first, and I really did stick it at the back of my head. Like, she's always been my partner in crime, and all throughout high school we were just like this. And throughout the year we have stayed in touch, and then it just gradually, we did not talk for 3 months, and there was no explanation why. It was a big miscommunication. And for 2 weeks straight, especially, it was during Hawaii time, I was having dreams with her in it every single night for about 2.5 weeks straight, and I'd wake up feeling so sad. And just the thought of losing someone so close to you that knows every single part of you and who you've grown up with, it was kind of like heartbreaking. It was just almost a state of confusion, and it got to a point where I reconnected with her, and we've realized now that our old friendship definitely was a teenage friendship, whereas now that we're both in like serious relationships and working and having ambitions and goals, we've got each other. We've matured in the way, and we know where our friendship stands now, and it was almost just to get out of all the old shit that happened throughout high school with other people getting involved with our friendship. So Andrea did say that, and I kind of ignored it, and scarily enough, as it happened throughout this year, Luana changes my outlooks, my brother, a long way in life. So he's gonna go, like, she did talk about heaps about my brother having lots of pressure on him, and that I've got to be the one to help him, because as much as I am me and my brother are completely opposites. He's a Virgo, I'm a Pisces, so if you kind of know that we're the opposite ends of the astrological wheel, and that I'm the one that has to be there for him and guide him. As much as my parents are there to parent him, I'm there to kind of give the big sisterly advice. And then she wrote these symbols, and I'm not sure, feathers, wings. Give yourself clear directions, clever and mindful soul. Have a lot to give to this world. So she has written Jamie here, and this was a week after my birthday. I remember me and Jamie had bumped into each other once or twice. I'd been introduced to him once. I don't think he registered who I was. I had no interaction with him whatsoever. As much as I had a big crush on him, very secret crush mind you, I knew that that was like out of bounds. I had just left off with this guy as well, and Andrea did mention, she goes, you were tied down to a very controlling guy, and she's like, you did the right thing letting him go. And I was like, whew. And he was a Leo. She did mention Jamie. She's like, do you know a Jamie? I was like, no, like I know of Jamie, but I don't know him. I don't have a Jamie in my life, even though I do keep seeing him at places, and of course I remember it. So she did say, oh well, you know, keep an eye out, because he's gonna keep popping up. And I thought, well, that could be a girl. Like, Jamie could be a girl, Jamie could be a boy. Last thing to ever happen was I just didn't expect Jamie. to come into my life. And I got home from seeing Andrea, and Jamie had messaged me, and now he's my boyfriend, and we've been dating for 1.5 years. I remember when I first hung out with Jamie for the first few times, and I told him, I was like, I went to a psychic recently and they brought you up, and this was before we were talking or anything, and it really spooked him, but he thought that was pretty cool. So I think it was just like everything about our relationship went so smoothly. I don't know, there's something always special about you know, that this particular reading that I had, because it brought me to Jamie. Oh yeah, and she also brought up my uncle who has passed away, and I was really close with him. He was like my buddy, and she did let me know that he's looking over me and proud of me. More even roads ahead, some to have happy ever after. Diamond and pearls, quality of what you receive in life will restore faith many times over the years to come. Boy child special, girl for someone. Also said that I'm going to do journalism and overseas traveling and stuff as a work. Also, I had a past life as an Egyptian princess apparently, which is quite funny. My energies are like a pyramid. So she's written all these notes, and I could go on and on and on, and I'm not going to bore you guys to death. She did say, like, straight away, she goes, you're Sabrina the Teenage Witch. She's like, witch isn't bad, because some people too take offense to the word witch, whereas I have always been fascinated. I've always been fascinated by it. So for me, for someone to tell me all these like interesting magical things are true, I just like, it's almost so, it's just like exciting to hear. So you may see on my Instagram I had my aura read. I've got predominantly yellow aura, green, also brown coming from my shoulder, as well as brown coming from the cone of my head. These represent that I am predominantly inspired by my father's side, as well as I have my third eye is opening and learning. So in order to receive messages, you know, be able to hear it and feel it, I do have to open up my third eye wider. So that's what I'm working on right now. This is the aura photo that I got. It's not as nice as the ones you get in like New York or anything like that. So I paid $20 for this reading. It was just really 5 minutes of him explaining it, and when you just have such a like passionate interest in that type of thing, like $20 is nothing. But basically my aura is yellow. As much as I have all this brown and green also inside it, predominantly the colour is yellow. So yellow means creative, easygoing, intellectual, philosophical and optimistic. Grey did my aura. We both did each other's aura a few months ago. You can do it at home. All you have to do is sit in front of like a blank wall, and you really focus your eyes on the person, and you'll start to see this colour just come out of them. And Grey did say that mine was yellow and hers was blue. Blue means caring, sensitive, loving, helpful, intuitive, love and helping others. And it also means that you are going through a calm state. With the brown and like the green inside, also represents teacher, social, communicator, love people, animals and nature. And he straight away did say that, I can see you're very connected with nature, feeling it spiritually and all that sort of thing. So I wrote all of the notes that I got told on my phone. So it was all at a holistic fair. So I don't know why, because I don't even know what that word means. Like, I do now, but like I was driving past after dropping Jamie at work, and I was like, I should go to that. I've never walked into a room before and felt so overwhelmed to the point where I thought I was gonna faint, and I was picking up these crystals and I was like feeling woozy, and I was like, I've never felt this much like energy to the point that it's like affecting me. So it was a very overwhelming day. So he basically told me the student will come with the right teacher. Now the key word here is teacher. I've been getting messages recently through horoscopes, through highlights, through messages, through spirit messages about teaching, mentoring and being able to like basically be there for people. Something really interesting I found out is the colour of your aura is usually the colours you tend to wear. If you kind of have a colour that you tend to gravitate to, that could indicate your aura colour. I learned that seeing bright lights or highlights on things that you are looking at are signs from spirits kind of guiding you and giving you messages. And also when you see a dark shadow out of the corner of your eye, but as soon as you turn your head and see directly on, they do disappear. Don't look at them directly because you're not going to be able to pick up on them. It's all from peripheral vision that you're going to see them. He did say that I have a strong connection to my dad's family, and that if I look at some old photos, that I'll most likely see an ancestor of mine that literally has my face. So I told Dad this, and he went out to go get his old photo album, and he kind of instantly figured out that I look like my dad's mum. And he said that she looked exactly like me as a teenager. And then I also went over and spoke to a psychic. It was $25 for 15 minutes, and she did inform me on some very important updates for me. She basically said straight away, I sense you're at a point where you're lost of direction, you're very confused. I'm at a point where I didn't know what to do. Now this was about 2-3 weeks ago. Basically she said I'm stuck between working, graphic design, and doing something else. What I find worthwhile with psychics, it's a neutral perspective, because for me, I've got to experience it in order to understand and know if it's right for me or not. By other people telling me and saying, oh, I wouldn't do that, like, I'm just not gonna listen. Hearing what the psychic had to say was almost very, like, it was so important to me in order to figure out what I needed to do. Psychics do tend to ask you lots of questions, so they can pick up on things, and the more you speak, and it's almost like a counselling session, not gonna lie. Andrea was a lot more in control of that session, whereas this lady really did ask a lot of questions. I'm sensing from your dad's side, you have a grandma in spirit, and she is basically looking out for me, and she's the one who's been giving me these messages about teaching. When she kind of said that she's giving me messages, this is when all the messages replayed in my head, and I was like, I know, you know, you need to do something. You're mentally a bit lazy in the sense that you just can't be bothered trying to figure out what you need to do. You're just doing whatever, you're working or in between jobs. And she basically said to me, I'm gonna get so bored waitressing or doing whatever for the next year until I decide to study. So I really need to pay attention and open my mind to these messages that are being sent to me. It's time for me to really put myself out there and look after myself, stop worrying about other people. I need to get into a schedule and routine because people are concerned, and it's more so my family. And it's hard because of course I've been out of school. It's hard when you just don't know what to do. You've got these talents for things, like I love art, but I don't know if I want to do that as a job every single day, because art is my hobby. I do it in my spare time, and it makes me happy. So if I was to do that as a job, it would almost take that away from me. So I need a job that's going to fulfill me every day, keep me occupied and not bored, just have a balanced life. But again, she mentioned traveling overseas and that she can definitely see me working overseas. Even I'm struggling. I was kind of like, what the fuck am I meant to do about teaching? It's been a subconscious thought. I've seen lots to do with teaching. She said, I can see you being a very good primary school teacher. It all made sense, and the more I thought about it, the more I thought it really does fit in with who I am as a person, because I love to inspire people and I really love interacting with children, and I think it's one of the most important jobs, is inspiring your kids and giving them that confidence to open their mind and learn, lead them into how they learn as adults. It's just almost like it really does connect with you in a way that you just know. So the more I thought about being a teacher, the more it really clicked. And she said you can bring your art into it. You can inspire kids through your drawings, your art and stuff. You can include it in the classroom. A fulfilling job for me, and I know lots of people look down on it, but at the end of the day, you need teachers for your kids just as much as you need nurses. I mean, in New Zealand at the moment there's like a big strike going on with teachers and nurses not getting paid enough, and I believe they're some of the most important jobs. If everyone just forgot about them, then who would teach our children? Who would look after us when we're sick in the hospital? And I think people really disrespect and disregard those jobs. And what sucked is I did come up with it and feel so inspired by it, and a lot of my family members, not so much my mum and my dad, but a lot of my outer family members kind of looked down on it and were kind of disappointed and made out that I was disappointing them and I should be doing better. But as much as I have talent for things, it's not going to make me happy. And I'm looking into and I'm applying for it because I'm so enthusiastic about doing it, and I know that it will make me feel good and I will feel like I really am servicing and bringing a light into this world. That's all the messages I got from these psychics. And I have been looking at my horoscope, and something that I don't like to do, and I don't like reading my yearly horoscope until about halfway through the year. Recently, when I was feeling a bit down, I kind of read it, and I screenshotted some important parts, so I think I might just read it out to you. So with Jupiter and Saturn in soft aspect to your sign this year, that supports your efforts more than challenges you, dear Pisces. It's a powerful year for teaching, guiding, coaching and mentoring, as well as learning and connecting. You'll quite naturally end up in teaching, guiding, advising or mentoring role with the influence of both Jupiter and Saturn. You're learning to own what you do by the last couple of months of 2018. And the last one did say people might feel drawn to you for guidance, healing or spiritual questions this year, and you tend to radiate warm healing energy. I highly recommend, if you're feeling a bit lost after this Leo solar eclipse new moon, go check out your horoscope. It's really gonna get you in the right direction, and it's a time for growth and a new era for yourself. So you are stepping into new terrain, and that should be really exciting for you, because I know that this year for me specifically has been really tough, but it's almost a matter of me guiding my own way, because at the end of the day, people around you, they're just a part of your life, but you're the one who is controlling what you do. Lost, and I feel like I just can't do anything, and when in fact I really can, and I've got a lot to offer. It's just a matter of finding that special thing that you can put your all into. Just remember, if you put out positive energy is going to come right back to you. I hope you really enjoyed this video, guys, and let me know if you want to see any other stories or videos on certain topics. Yeah, I'll try to film a bit more. It's kind of just like a little personal diary for me now, and connecting with you guys and interacting, because I don't know, I just love it. So hope you're having a lovely day or night whenever you're watching this. Don't forget to look at my links and give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!